I got daddy issues, that's on me.
Oh my word. You won't believe this, but I'm recording this for the third time now. The first time I was recording, the light just switched off for some reason. And I wanted to give up a little bit, but I told myself that it's really hot in here, so I'm trying to dry off the sweat in my skin. The first time I record, the light switched off and I wanted to give up. I was days close to like, it's all good, bro. I'm not gonna film, around you. So the reason why, oh my God, the light is off. The devil is the liar, but I'll finish this. This is the second episode. Today I told myself that I have to do this project. I've been thinking about this project for way too long, for not really that long, for like probably 3 months, I think. I think it was late last year. So welcome to the first episode of Daddy Issues. So this is like a young podcast that I've been meaning to start. I feel like I'm super passionate about this because this is something that has been lingering on my mind for way too long, man. And the reason why I wanted to start this is because I've seen how deep this topic is. Before actually like thinking of a podcast, I was just in my brain and thinking about all I don't know how to put this, but I was thinking about how the absence of a father can affect a person, as a whole, not just the guy, not just the lady, but like a person as a whole, or how the absence of father has affected us as a society, you know what I mean? And I thought to myself, it would really be important if I just sit down and probably like sit down with someone who like relates to this topic, on how the absence or the presence actually of a father has affected their livelihood, their way of behavior, their way of approaching life, because I feel like I'm one person who's also highly affected by the absence of my father. My father's still like well alive, you know what I mean? But he wasn't in my life and he's still not in my life, and that has played a huge role in the person that I am today. Um, it's crazy how you have to learn to be like a man by yourself, you know what I mean? Because you don't really have like someone to teach you how to be a man. And I feel like it's not just me, it's a lot of people who need to like learn being a man from nothing. You feel me? There's almost zero examples of like a perfect man out there. Therefore, you gotta like figure it out all on your own. Am I saying it right? You gotta figure it out all on your own. And I feel like a lot of people are really affected by that, and not just from like the male perspective, but also like all of us, male and female. You know what I mean? The absence of a father really like make you act and react differently. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a huge difference between someone who was brought up in like a healthy family where there was both the father and the mother, you know what I mean? Like the love from a father and love from a mother, you know what I mean? And in this case, I just want to focus more on the father side because I feel like that's one issue that really like affects a lot of us. You feel me? And the reason why is because I feel like I've explained the reason, honestly. I feel like I've explained the reason, but I would really like to sit down with, I wouldn't say like-minded, but I would really love to sit down with someone who relates more to this. Someone who might have faced a little bit of hardship because of how they were brought up or because of their presence or the absence of like father in their lives. Man, I feel like there's a whole lot that I need to learn. And honestly, I would also wish to sit down with someone who can teach me and anyone how to be a man. Cause bro, you know how crazy it is to learn how to shave all on your own, bro. Learning how to shave because you don't really like have a father to teach you that. Learning how to not really approach a girl per se, but like learning what love is and what is to love a woman. as a man because you don't really have like a father, you know what I mean? You don't really have an example of what real love is. You gotta go out there and learn it on your own, you know? And there's a whole bunch of mistakes that you make in the process. You know what I mean? It's like you see this thing, you just don't know how to really approach it, you know, and you don't know how to really go about it, you know. So it's really hard. And I feel like this is one thing that keeps on going and going and going, you know. I'm sure now you know that we'll still have a lot of single parents, you know, and it won't be mostly guys, it'll be mostly like mothers, you know. um we still need to learn, bro, why niggas run away, you know what I mean, why niggas lack responsibility, you feel me? Because I feel like that's one thing that really affects us, the financial burden that comes with um being raised by just a mother, the financial burden, it's really hard. I'm saying this because I'm saying it from experience, bro. I know how it is, bro. I know how it is to live on your own, knowing very well that there's a man out there who brought you to this world. You know what I mean? And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? You cannot run after him. You've chased him enough, and you got to a point where you're like, "Fuck you, bro. I'm gonna live on my own." You feel me? But for you to develop that, it takes it takes a lot. It takes carrying hatred. It takes forgiving. It takes letting go. You know what I mean? And I would really I really want to sit down with someone, bro, can like really share how someone can share how the presence or the absence of a father has affected them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daddy Issues. I feel like I got a little bit emotional. That's why when I started swearing, I didn't see that coming, bro. But I guess I won't even bleep that, bro. That's how I feel. I have a lot of things to, you feel me, and I feel like it's gonna take a little bit of time. This is a podcast where I break down all the dirty issues, the good and the bad. You feel me, bro? So welcome to the new episode, bro. I'll probably drop about 10 episodes, and move on to the, like, another thingy, that I've been planning also, you know. So yeah, man. Welcome to the first one. Enjoy. I hope something comes out of this. I hope me and you get to learn something out of this, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, daddy issues.
I got daddy issues, that's on me.